Okay, so welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about balloon drivers and how do you measure your memory for on-prem instances. So this is one of our users brought this up in the Nanos repo. Basically, they're running uh, they're running an instance on-prem, and on-prem for us just basically means that it's not in the public cloud. And so, some of our customers, for instance, use the on-prem target for running blockchain applications because they, um, attaching to the GPUs locally is a lot less expensive than using the cloud. There's other reasons why you might want to use this. If you're using like the Ops Desktop Mac application, that will also default to on-prem target only because it makes it easier to stick things into a bridge, so you can talk to them. Anyways, so typically how you measure memory inside of a guest VM is you'll use an agent, right? So for instance, one agent that you could use is Radar. Radar is a hosted service that we have. And basically this measures things like memory, measures things like disk. It does crash reporting and boot logging and all this sort of stuff. But we created this because people, were deploying these things everywhere, and they wanted basic stats like memory utilization. If you're using something like Google or Amazon or something like that, you'll note that without having an agent inside, you can't actually get at your memory. And so we've also made agents for Amazon and Google and DigitalOcean. I think Azure too, but I would have to confirm that. Anyways, and the reason why we had to do this, as you can see here, is how the metrics gets passed out, is because the host operating system, the hypervisor, in many cases is this KVM. It's not actually aware of how memory is being utilized inside of the guest. And so that's really important because it's not something where you can just pull out like, free or look at top or something like that, because you're inside the guest, not the host. The host has no knowledge of how that memory is laid out, how it's allocated, how it's freed, all that information. And honestly, you really don't want the host to know that because it's a privacy thing too, and a security thing. And so all hypervisors have this capability to introspect the guest, but it is something that has to be toggled on. And in this case, this is how you could toggle it on in Google. Okay, so this all lays the foundation for how do we do it in on-prem. In on-prem, we use what's called this balloon driver, and he actually mentions it in the ticket. You can see, I guess I had misunderstood what he was asking earlier, and so I just told him, depends on your language, or use the agent. But then I reread it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we can throw in the balloon driver because we're actually already using it. So let's jump back in. We can use the same similar web server that does this allocation test. If you watched one of our videos in the past week or two, I did a video on this where we were showing the new transparent huge pages work where it sped up this allocation by quite a lot. So we're going to use this exact same program because it'll allow us to show the memory usage as well, right? So let's go ahead and spin it up. All right, so we'll do an ops instance create 8080, and we're gonna pass it qmp.json. Basically, this is just a flag to say that, hey, we want the QMP agent working when we run this. We don't have it on by default for many reasons, but if it is on, then we'll be able to talk with the guest. I'm just going to show you what it's like real quick. yeah, it's just this Boolean QMP true. As you can see, that radar key that I was showing you earlier, um, that's just a test key. It doesn't really, and by the way, this doesn't do anything except allow you to send metrics. You can't like log in with a key. So there's no harm in me showing you this. But yeah, so this QMP bool basically turns on our QMP, and we pass it the instance name. Okay, so we got QTest. I'm gonna spin up this GTest too, just to kind of have multiple things to look at here. Okay, so these should both be up. They are. So, so yeah, we have our two instances up. I'm gonna do an ops instance stat. Okay, so they're roughly more or less the same right now. Let's go ahead and hit this curl real quick. See if we can trigger something there. And as you can see, right after that allocation test, our memory jumps up by quite a lot. Now, Go has a garbage collector, and so whenever this stuff goes out of scope, it might get garbage collected. And so, you know, you can also do like a JSON listing. As you know, we did human readable for the table output, and then JSON, we assume that a machine or a program or whatever is going to read that. And so if you were going to draw like a graph or something based upon the metrics, I would use the JSON. Or if you're going to, you know, integrate it into another program. Anyway, this is a very quick little demo. Shows you a super basic capability, like showing the memory inside the guest. But it also tells you the story of why we just now put this in for ops instance create when it's been in various other incarnation for years in other deployment types. All right, till next time. Bye.